Welcome to this week's edition of the Volunteer Corner. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're here on Saturdays. We're here on a Saturday. Saturday is actually run by a group of volunteers. They're here serving students. So let's flip this around and meet some of the folks. So Mark,
hello.
We're about to go up and talk to your wife and a couple of the other volunteers that are here. But Mark, you've been volunteering at the food bank for how long?
I'd say it's actually been 10 years. I'm pretty sure it's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years, okay.
Yep, so 2015, I believe.
Okay.
No, actually even before that, so 11 or 12.
Yeah,
Yes.
wow, okay. And so, you know, not only are you volunteering, you're one of the folks that are in charge of actually Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You and Chantel and Sandy in particular.
Correct.
A volunteer run, you help volunteers, you come in. You come in, you make sure the trucks go out. Now we just saw Ted and Grant leave.
Yeah.
I mean, but you used to go out and pick up all the...
Correct, yeah, so we were doing that. So we've kind of now been involved in all facets of the food bank. So when we first started, we did just like you see some of the volunteers there just doing the sorting. Some were doing the hampers. That's kind of where it started. But then as we continued to come, and then we were given
more and more responsibility.
More responsibilities and
we couldn't get rid of you.
That's right.
So that's awesome.
No, we appreciated helping out. So then it started to go into, of course, making the deliveries, picking up the food, organizing the staff or the volunteers that come in.
Yeah.
And it's nice organic growth.
So what we love about Saturdays is obviously we're busy throughout the course of the week, but we're still able to serve folks because of all of the work that you do. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me a little bit about what Saturdays, who can come, how does it work?
Yeah, the Saturdays are nice because we come in, we open the food bank to allow then some of the volunteers that need to leave early to pick up the food from Costco, which generously donates, along with the Bagel House. And then we control, I guess, as far as the volunteers that come in, and then organize them into what groups. So today was a great example. We have a healthy amount of volunteers today.
I think it's like 25 here or something, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Today is a good example. Again, Chantel had someone split some dog food, then got the rice, then we trained them. Some students have not been here before to do hampers. So every different facet that needs attention, we've been able to direct them because we've been able to experience it ourselves in every way.
Yeah.
So
no, that's awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about why you volunteer?
Well, it's just
and
great
why you started and why you keep coming back.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna give full credit to my wife Chantel because she is the one that started here before we had met. She had some involvement here, and through Sandy Burke, who we also co-chair, I guess.
You are, I'm not actually sure. You're co-Saturday. I don't know. You're almost like staff.
Yeah.
Staff we don't have to pay, but which is awesome.
So, it's just a great feeling to get back and see the people that are very appreciative to assist and help out. And, you know, myself, I like to see diversion of product.
Of the waste, you mean?
Of the waste, thank you. That's a great example of it. So I never like to see any waste, try to minimize as much as possible. And that's one area I love here is that, you know, the cardboard gets separated, the plastic gets separated, food waste gets multi-compost, and then we have another one for the digester. Like, there's no waste here, right? We try to find an avenue for everything. And then even stuff that comes in that's donated that's not food, we still find ways to give it to the coffee house or London Cares or whomever. And then even during COVID, when it was very restricted on what we could do and where we could see, we're still trying to make those deliveries and get as many things out as we could. We did COVID Cares, so it was.
Actually,
so no,
it's
amazing, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
You know, I just enjoy coming here, and it's nice because I've turned some people. I shouldn't say turned some people onto it, but I've introduced some people to it. Co-workers, for example, my current employer I'm with now. We did a little Christmas gathering here, so they came in and you could just kind of see them. Wow, this is cool. Like, this is what you do, and this is kind of because we can show them the inner workings of it too. It's not just some volunteers that come in and, you know, they go do their shift or their duty and then they leave, and that's fine. We appreciate their time, but we can actually give them a tour. Chantel is great at spouting out statistics. Right? There's how many families we help. This is how much food we get. And this is what we do. So So no specific memory, but it's just nice to pass that on and pass it forward. And we've had our daughters involved here too.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is a family affair, isn't it?
It is.
Your daughters have been here. I mean,
They've all been here. Not as much recently, just because, of course, they're young adults and they're, busy with their own lives, but
Yeah.
when they were younger, they were
Yeah.
here somewhat regularly.
Yeah, for sure. And part of the reason we are talking to Mark a little bit separately from we'll go see Chantel and the folks up at the front is because Mark has to head off to a hockey tournament. It's Columbus Blue Jackets fan?
I'm a Blue Jackets fan,
Oh
yes.
my goodness,
We went
okay.
last week. We weren't here. We went to the outdoor game, which was a fantastic time.
That's right. So
And then it was on a Saturday, so that's why we couldn't be here. But so I have a hockey tournament, so I play hockey there. Well, I've talked with you about it. You
we
play
do.
hockey as well.
Yeah, so we have some friendly rivalry here,
Yes.
which is great. So that's one of the great things is that it's friends helping out, and those things that we are outside of, let's say, the food bank in terms of things, we bring that in, and we're able to talk. We have like a Leafs Bruins
Yes.
rivalry
There's a
kind of going on.
rivalry there.
You're the first person, the two of you are the first few folks that we know, so we'll obviously have to put the Columbus Blue Jackets into that.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of fun being with each other and knowing
It
you're making
is.
a difference, actually.
Yes.
So
And actually, if I have to go back, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
I said what favorite memory, I guess if I have to say, there's not a specific memory, but one thing I do enjoy, just to piggyback on your comment there, I love the camaraderie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a small family.
Yeah.
And, we've done things, we've met, so a friend of ours that volunteers here regularly
Yeah.
had hurt himself recently. And we went there to visit him after and offer assistance and help. And
Yeah, that's
so it's
nice.
nice to keep in touch. And then you can see that in the lunchroom, we just have like a little session that we chat to. It's just nice to
Yeah.
have that. So
Yeah.
it's a social aspect as well.
yeah, for sure. No, but thank you, Mark. You folks on Saturday do a tremendous job. We love the fact that you're here. And for us, it's always been, this is the community's food bank, and Saturday in many ways for us is a real example of that. It started because some people wanted, like years and years ago, as a kind of a student-run food bank, and so we turned the building over to them, and then it transformed into Sandy and you folks and other folks kind of running it. But again, the fact that everybody here is a volunteer, I think, is
Yeah.
just it really makes a difference.
Yep.
And the fact that we now can provide service for not just the clients that are coming in on the Saturdays, but or the students that come in on the Saturdays, but all the volunteers.
Yeah.
Which is really great. So thank you. I think that's pretty amazing. So
Thank you for allowing us to help here.
yeah. So go have a good game.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take care. Thanks.
Thank you, Jane.
Okay. Okay. Now, oh my goodness. Well, I actually just saw Mark because Mark is heading out, but we've got Chantel here. Mark and Chantel, of course, have been married. You still are married. Oh my goodness. So can you tell me a little bit about what's happening today and why you're here?
Yeah. So we are serving students on Saturdays, so Fanshawe University students and those who are working during the week that can't make it to the 9 to 4 business hours during the week will come at times as well. And so we have a core group of volunteers who work with us every weekend. Sandy is the co-lead with us, and
We were trying to come up with a good name between you, Sandy and Mark. The co-Saturday
Co-leads?
gurus?
Yeah.
Co-leads? Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of like guru, though.
I like group too. Yeah,
So-
that sounds like really more fun.
Yeah.
And then we have a bunch of regular volunteers who are here with us, and then we have
Oh, they're
and then we have
I'm keeping that.
we have sign-ups on Saturdays. So we get a lot of families, sometimes hockey teams, and today we have high school students. We have 10
Oh, wow.
students here with us.
Oh, right. So 10 students. It felt like there's quite a lot of folks out
Well,
back
we have
that
our
just-
10 students with our regulars on top of that.
Oh,
So we have
okay.
probably close to 25 volunteers in the building today, with our regulars and our students on top of
Oh,
that.
awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm watching Mark and I'm watching Brianne. There looks like they're serving somebody right now.
That's right.
Actually.
Yep.
So
Yep.
can you tell me a little bit about what they're doing?
Yeah, so on the weekends we do it a little different than what happens during the week. So we have we do all the jobs at the same time. So during the week, sometimes we have one person who does the running, but we have the runner, we have the door, we have the delivery. We will jump in and do produce and milk and eggs, whatever's
Whatever's
needed.
done.
So
Yeah.
we kind of get the opportunity to do all the jobs. So they're just grabbing all the food to bring out to a recipient, and they're going to sort the food in the building.
And you also actually have the opportunity to talk to people a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, you volunteered here during the week, and you see we're kind of an assembly line, aren't
That's
we?
right. Yeah.
Just it's so busy. It's the only thing that we can do. But it's a much more relaxed. Not to say it's a relaxed atmosphere, but you're actually able to, like sit down and chat with people.
Yeah.
Do you find that's the biggest difference?
It is, yeah. We have a lot less volume of people coming through on the weekend, which is good because we don't have the same number of volunteers to run on Saturdays, but we make it work. We always make it work. One time Mark was doing the majority just because of circumstances. He was kind of here by himself one day, so we always just
Oh
make
my
it work.
goodness.
Yeah. But we get to know the people who come in,
Yep.
and so we have regular clients as well.
Oh,
and so
okay.
we kind of get to know, oh, I know this is going to be a family of 4. I know this family has pets, and so yeah, we do kind of get to check in and see how the midterms are and the end of term,
That's awesome.
and just kind of do those check-ins with
Okay.
folks. And
Yeah.
sometimes we get individuals who come who are unhoused, and we have the opportunity of being able to call London Cares and have them come in and get some support and give them a coffee and just kind of just treat them as humans. you know?
Yeah, it's definitely true. It is the volunteers we have during the week love what they do, but they really do wish they could spend a bit more time in that kind of context with folks
Yeah.
because we're obviously trying to care for the people. We're giving food, but
Right.
when you're rushed,
Yeah.
it's sometimes a bit different. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And actually, can you tell me a little bit about working with Fanshawe? Because Chantel, you actually work at Fanshawe right now, but you were instrumental, and you were one of the folks that helped liaise between the food bank and Fanshawe, particularly last year when there was the issue with the international students. The challenge.
Yep.
happened.
The volume of students that we
Yeah.
were getting, a lot of people coming in needing support that were international students, and
Yeah.
it became a volume even on Saturdays that we struggled to manage, and we knew that they were coming in during the week
Yeah.
as well. And
Yeah.
had the privilege of being on some committees at Fanshawe as well as coordinating a program and teaching there. And food security is just one of those things that
Yeah.
I'm really passionate about. So it just kind of is a natural fit to be able to liaison between the food bank and Fanshawe.
Yeah, for sure. Because then you're actually able to help people more in terms of that, because there's a lot of services that they weren't necessarily accessing as well, right?
That's
so you're
right.
able to do more. So
Yeah, we
that's
were
great.
able to do some education for students to be able to understand all the supports that are available at Fanshawe, which there
Yeah.
are way more than a lot of people really know.
Yeah.
Fanshawe has their own food bank, and they have some other financial supports and
Yeah.
housing supports and
Yeah.
things like that. So we've created some posters, and we have them here for our students so we can be aware of those
Yeah.
resources.
Which is awesome. Okay, so let's introduce me to. There's Brienne.
This is Bree. She's
It's
one
Bree.
of our regular volunteers.
Hello.
Hello. This is awesome. So can I actually pull you guys this way, away from the meat freezer because it's a little noisy. And actually, so Brienne, you've been I've been coming for popping in on Saturdays, and you've been here for like a number of years, haven't you?
It'll actually be 5 years next month.
Wow. Okay. Oh wow. And did you know each other before you came, or you
No,
were?
I was actually a student at Fanshawe, and it was the pandemic, and
Yeah.
I wanted to stay involved in social services. That's a program I did. So luckily I had a connection to Chantel just kind of through Fanshawe.
Okay.
And so I started coming every Saturday and then just sort of stuck with it. And now I come for lots of different reasons, originally to learn, but now just community and connection and really enjoying being part of it.
That's awesome. So do you have a favorite job?
Here,
Yeah.
I love doing the veggies because it feels like you're at a little farmer's market, and it's so much fun to like build the different little things and put them together. So I really like building the basket. That's my favorite part.
Okay, that's awesome. So so we talked about Chantel in terms of she's been a great liaison and a great help with Fanshawe, but you are now the chair of the board of 519 Pursuit.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we have a very wonderful partnership with the London Food Bank. Luckily, a lot of this food gets to be brought over to the RBC Center over on York Street, and then the chefs make beautiful meals. Their gravy is literally off the chain. We have heard it from so many people. So we're able to do that hot meal piece, which is amazing for the London Food Bank too, because I know I've heard Glenn talk a lot about wanting to reach the population in lots of different ways, and so this was kind of a different way that we could come together. So it's
Yeah.
great being here on Saturdays and really seeing every step of the process to how everything gets connected and put out in the community. So
Yeah, for sure. But what it points to me is that when we speak to the volunteers that are here, most people are doing something else as well. So it's not just this isn't the only place that they're volunteering. They're actually volunteering and making a difference in terms of community. We're just lucky enough to have them as well. And you were assisting 519 before you actually came here, were you not?
Yes,
There's
I started
two separate things.
1 month actually before I started here. I started with 519 Pursuit doing the Monday to Friday outreach.
Yeah.
So that's been really cool. Just me and Chantel having similar mindsets in terms of her being in the human services and social services and child and youth and all those things. So we've done some incredible resource sharing that I do feel the ripple effect, whether it's going out to clients or students or individuals coming in here. I just feel like the network continues to grow of different learning opportunities and people to join the field and be encouraged to join the field because we're really fun. So it makes people want to come back.
You know, it is true. Whenever we've talked to lots of volunteers, that's the main reason they volunteer is the camaraderie.
Mhm.
I think it's not what brings them here, but the camaraderie definitely is what keeps people volunteering.
Yeah.
Because it can be
Yeah.
stressful. You're dealing with people who are struggling, and life's challenges has just been really, really difficult. Whether it's a family coming in for groceries or whether it's someone who's living in the rough, it's really difficult.
You feel that value of the community when you actually join it.
Yeah, it's really awesome.